Hello, the wonderful people of YouTube. Retro Rewinder here, coming at you with another video, and I'm excited today. It started off great. First of all, we got one of our PSA graded cards. The grade, we got it back today, so that's exciting. And the second thing is, a couple weeks ago, we posted an ad on Facebook, and a woman reached out. And honestly, it's so good of stuff that we're actually driving to Canada today for it. So, hope you enjoy this video. So I'm actually on my way to pick up Brandon, and before we make this drive to Canada for what is hopefully going to be one of the best finds we've ever had, if everything goes the way it should, I'm actually going to pick up Brandon and we're going to go garage selling in a neighboring town. This neighboring town is having a festival called the Hot Dog Festival, so we're going to hit some garage sales before we start heading to meet our contact. So hopefully we can find some good stuff. Today is also exactly 1 week since we purchased our large NASCAR haul. Thankfully that we have been having pretty good sales. We're at about 22 sales online. We sold about 15 items in the booth, but those have all been dollar items. So we're making good progress. We're back under our initial buy costs because once we figured in or we're back at the level of the buy costs, I should say, because once we figured in our storage units and the price we had to pay for the U-Haul, we were actually at about $2,900, in between that and $3,000. So right now, I think we're sitting at like $2,200, something right around there in the negative. So we're definitely making good progress on that. And I want to make a little confession. The title may be a little clickbaity. I have not lied about anything in a traditional sense, I should say. Let me give you a little bit of a backstory about where we're going to pick up our great stuff today. I don't want to give away what we're actually getting, but basically we put out this flyer on Facebook, or I did, had multiple people reach out, way more than we did the last time. We actually had somebody from about 40 minutes away reach out with a pretty good deal where we would have probably had to have gotten another storage unit. This is before we decided to make the NASCAR buy. But since we made the NASCAR buy, we didn't worry about that other one. And then this other lady reached out. And basically she has a bunch of vintage t-shirts, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what they are. I want you to stay tuned and find out what that is. But it sounds like it's going to be some pretty amazing stuff. The kicker is she may be a little bit on the eccentric side, I think would be the most polite way to say that. Once we were scheduling when we were going to actually meet with her, she told me that we would be meeting at 11 o'clock her time, which is very confusing because she only lives maybe 15 minutes away from my house, and I am not near any time zone changes. So come to find out, I guess going 60 miles an hour isn't fast enough for that guy, but come to find out, she has 5 acres of land, and she has succeeded from the United States of America. She considers her land no longer American soil, and she says that she is basically a Southern Canadian now, for political reasons that we did not get into. I didn't feel like asking that. So her time zone is actually Canadian time, where she has friends that live, apparently. So her time is 10 o'clock. Some other unique interactions with this woman was she mentioned the fact that she has guns on her property multiple times. I've talked to her on the phone 2 or 3 times. I don't know if she has a cell phone. She gave me a landline number. I actually tried to text it one of the times and it said it was a landline. So I don't think she even has a cell phone. But yeah, she's mentioned that she has guns on her property multiple times. And she actually mentioned the specific ammo because she told me a story about how some animals were killing her chickens. That was another thing. When she first replied to the ad, she said for us to be able to come out to her property, we would have to be okay with dogs, chickens, and guineas, which is a type of bird that I'm not 100% sure what it looks like. But she did tell me a story about how she had some raccoons killing her dogs, and she actually had to call her neighbor to come kill one of the raccoons because the only ammo that she had was, I believe, 38 hollow points, and she did not want to damage her live trap. She, like I said, she's a little bit of an eccentric person. She also told us that she will be wearing a mask while we're there. She just said that we did not have to wear masks. But she said that one of the reasons that she likes wearing her mask when she has company over is she doesn't have to put her teeth in. She's going to be turning 70 next month. She mentioned that a couple times. Or no, I'm sorry, 70 next May is what she said. But because of the fact that she is pretty eccentric, she has lots of guns and apparently high powerful ammunition, we will not be trying to do any filming at her place. That just doesn't seem like a wise idea. So, again, I'm on my way to pick up Brandon right now. We're going to do some garage selling. Hopefully we'll find some stuff at the garage sales. If I need to, I will cut this into 2 separate videos. But if not, you're going to see everything that we got at garage sales today, as well as our epic Facebook find type thing. So stay tuned. Brandon will be in the car in about a second on your guys' feed, but in a few minutes in mine. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Me and Brandon are over. There's a garage sale sign right there. Me and Brandon are in that town that I said we were going to try to hit some garage sales in, and basically as soon as we got to town, it started pouring raining. It's, what time is it now? It's 8:31, so we've been here for about half hour. There's supposed to be a church sale that opens at 9, so we've got a half hour till that starts. So we're just kind of cruising around, trying to find some stuff, and it's starting to sprinkle again. So I don't know if we'll actually find any garage sales. We may just make that trip over to that lady's house in Canada. So Brandon and I didn't tell them what exactly we're going to go try to find there. I just said vintage shirts. How are you feeling about that sale? I've told them already that she succeeded from the union and that she's got lots of guns on her property.
Well, hopefully she's a hippie and she has a bunch of cool stuff.
I don't know.
Hopefully vinyl records and vintage t-shirts.
I said we're not going to do any filming. It didn't seem like a wise idea after she pointed out the fact that she had a ton of guns and hollow point ammo. So
she probably thinks the government would be tracking her if you were filming there or something.
Yeah. So hopefully we find a garage sale before we leave this town, but it's not looking promising right now. Well, that was a complete waste to come to this town. The one garage sale was a church sale, and it was by far the worst church sale I've ever been to. Brandon described it as being in a dungeon. It was a very small church. They didn't have hardly anything for sale. All the other sales in town that we could find were canceled due to the rain. We were able to go to the Goodwill in town, and it was awful as well. So we're leaving empty-handed. Before we go meet Our Lady, we're going to go check one more Goodwill and hopefully find something before we go to this hopefully amazing setup that we've got. So we'll see. So we made a stop at our local Goodwill, and Brandon did find this shirt on the rack. Not super old, but still cool for $2. Well, this is either going to be the place where we get our best t-shirt score of all time, or we're murdered. Could be either. No hunting. Well, she's not allowed to hunt us. And here we are. Okay, me and Brandon just got back from the crazy lady's house. She wasn't as crazy as she could have been, I guess. We did buy quite a bit of stuff. We paid $275 for everything we've got in the back of this van right now. Okay, so this is everything we got. I'm not gonna pull all of this stuff out, but you can kind of see right here, we got stuff called Roseville pottery. That was the first thing we bought. She had a whole display case with like 22 pieces, and we paid $150 for all the Roseville. I'll put up some comps so you guys can kind of see what some of that stuff is. All of these DVDs I didn't necessarily want, but she really wanted to get rid of them. So I paid $10 for all the DVDs, and we're just gonna put these in the flea market booth for like $1 a piece. I'm gonna pull that out, Brandon. Show you the main reason that we scheduled to go out here. You can just pull out whatever you want. So Grateful Dead tee with the liquid blue tag. A little bit of staining on the bottom. Vintage Santana shirt. Is this the one you said was the good one?
Yeah, I like that one. It's a summer tour.
So, 94 Grateful Dead Summer Tour.
These ones are newer.
These are all the new screen printed liquid blues. So those may be 20 to 30 each. That one's still cool. So that was the main reason we scheduled to go out here. We were hoping there'd be more Grateful Dead stuff. This one's a little bit older. We're not sure of the date on that one.
I don't know what this is. It says Mickey Hart's Mystery Box.
Mickey Hart's Mystery Box. From 1996. Let's flip it over here. Is it just the same on the back?
Kinda.
This kind of looks like that thing she had hanging up.
Yeah.
So, Mickey Hart's Mystery Box. Again, this is all pottery stuff in the boxes. Down there is a Sony piece of audio equipment. The remote alone, I'm pretty sure, is like $20. So I paid $10 for that.
I think they were on tour with Grateful Dead.
So they were on tour with Grateful Dead. Is it a decent shirt?
Seems like there's one listed that's not the same for 60.
$60. So.
125.
So all the t-shirts, all these dresses, and anything clothing related, we paid $50 for all of this stuff. So, okay, Brandon, you want to model some dresses?
No, this vest is cool though.
It's kind of like a military type hunting, fishing vest. We're not really sure. There wasn't a tag.
In the pocket.
Oh, is there money?
No.
Oh, bummer.
Probably nasty.
Is it a bong?
Tissue.
Nasty tissue.
Oh, and we got a bunch of Grateful Dead CDs.
So these, we also got all of these records. There is a mix of some classical, but a lot of it's rock. There's Beatles in here, Eddie Money, Chicago. I know Boston was in there. A bunch of Grateful Dead CDs. This one's Earth Bones. But all these are Grateful Dead CDs. And again, we paid $50 for all the records with all the CDs and this little box of costume jewelry, which we'll just put that in the booth. Other things we got would be this like poncho type thing. She said this was worn to many Grateful Dead shows. Definitely needs a good cleaning. It does have a tag. Made in Mexico. Wasn't there something else that we got? That hoodie. The crew neck had just kind of a neat little graphic on the back. Bunch of wild animals. Where's that hoodie at?
Oh, the 50 looking one.
The Grateful Dead one.
Oh.
That's that Santana. And we did get a Grateful Dead liquid blue hoodie. She insisted that we take this because I said we liked IU stuff, but I mainly said that because she had a vintage IU jacket hanging in the closet. So this is from, that's 70. That's not from 1975.
It's on the brown liquid blue tag.
So another liquid blue hoodie. Still neat to get thrown in with everything. And that was pretty much it. There was she said there was more shirts that she didn't get out. She said some of them were too holy, that they should be rags. We told her we'd possibly be interested in buying those as well. And she made the comment about some of those shirts being 50 years old. So hopefully we can get some more from her in the future. But as of right now, this is all that she was willing to let go. And all of these are like hippie, flowy dresses. We may try some of these out in the booth. I don't know. We just kind of got them thrown in with everything. But yeah, technically, well, I wouldn't say technically. I don't know if it's technical, but went to Canada, according to her, to buy all of this stuff. And again, spent $275. So hopefully these Grateful Dead tees will just pay for everything. And some of this Roseville pottery stuff goes for pretty high dollar amounts. Unfortunately, they do all have little blemishes, minor chips, No big cracks or breaks or anything, but there is quite a bit of little damage to them. So we've wrapped up the day. We're back at Brandon's apartment, and I had one more little story to share and some cool finds we had. Basically, we went to this estate sale that was supposed to have a bunch of beer taps, beer signs, that kind of stuff, and we thought it was a complete waste of time because they were at eBay price or maybe like $5 below, and some of them were actually higher than eBay. But after leaving that sale, looked at the yard sale treasure map, and there was actually an estate sale that was supposed to run till like 4 o'clock. Hey, kitty, kitty. So we went to the estate sale. There was no signs for it at all.
A few moments later.
So there was no signs for it at all. There was a lady like she was standing like sweeping her garage out. I stopped and asked if this is where the estate sale was, and she said that whoever posted the estate sale made a mistake and it was actually starting tomorrow. So she said that we could come back. I told her that I don't garage sale on Saturdays, which is true. I only go on Fridays. I asked if she had any vintage clothing or t-shirts or anything, and she did. She actually said, well, I have this Magic Johnson shirt right here. It is new with the tag. So it's made in USA, Salem Sportswear, but brand new. So she said, I have this. And I said, yeah, we'd be interested in that. And she's like, well, you can come back tomorrow. I haven't priced it. And I was like, there's no way you'd sell it today because, we don't plan on going back out tomorrow. And she agreed to sell this, but she didn't tell me a price. She just kept saying, it's a large, and you don't look like a large. And I said, yeah, but I just like vintage clothing. And then hanging up next to that was this, what year is this? 1991 World Series sweatshirt. Again, this is brand new. It's Fruit of the Loom, but it's also starter, so it's on a Fruit of the Loom tag. So she agreed to sell both of these to us, and when I got her to finally give me a price, she said $10 a piece, which I thought was a pretty good deal, so we went ahead and got those. And then once that I actually went into the garage, then she was good about selling stuff. She wanted me to buy everything. So she had me looking at clothing racks, at her tools, and there were a few other things that we found. Picked up these Purdue sweats. I don't remember if these had a tag. These are vintage Fruit of the Loom, size large, Purdue sweats. So I got those for $5. And then we got a couple hats. This one is it's just a Budweiser with Irish on the top, a painter's cap. She wanted $1 for this. She said this one's pretty rough, and really it's not in that bad of shape, but it's a Purdue hat, painter's cap. So she said since this one is so rough, she wanted 50 cents for this. And then somewhere, what did I do with it? Oh, no, this bandana. I went ahead and picked this up too. It's a bandana from the year that the Colts left Baltimore and came to Indianapolis, so it's 1985. There is some stains on it, so I'll probably have to throw this in some OxyClean and hopefully get that out. But she wanted 50 cents for that. And then lastly, as we were getting ready to leave, this was sitting on the shelf. It's copyrighted 1989. It's a brand new water bottle, never used, for the Lakers. So a nice little stop that ended up being a pretty good turnout. I think the Magic Johnson shirt we think is probably like $50. Probably not as much for the sweater, but for a sale that wasn't going on, it was a nice way to end the day. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys next time.